Hello there, my name is Sakoane. I come from a very beautiful country in the southern parts of Africa called Lesotho. I'm 29 years old. What is your favorite thing about being a teacher? My favorite thing about being a teacher is seeing transformation, everything that comes with it. Seeing a student going from being shy, reluctant, not being able to communicate or hold a conversation to actually transforming into someone who's now confident, fluent, and can hold a conversation. That is a big win for me. A student sometimes is not even able to introduce themselves, let alone hold a conversation. But after attending some lessons, now they are relaxed, they can introduce themselves and hold conversations. That is a really good thing. What is your teaching experience? I have been a teacher for almost 4 years now, teaching both in a physical classroom and online. I have taught adults to young learners, focusing on business English, interview preparation, conversational English, general English, and English for young learners. I've taught on platforms such as Preply, Cafe Talk, and also as a freelancer. I've also taught other teachers, helped them to get certified and mentored them into getting other jobs. What do you find most challenging about being a teacher? The most challenging thing about being a teacher is transition. Going from teaching a proficient level to now starting again at a beginner level, that can be quite a transition. But it helps us as teachers to grow, to be vigilant, and to actually understand different needs of students. Again, the other challenging thing can be letting go of students when that time comes, when they have now completed that journey in learning, because now you have built that bond with them and it can be quite heartbreaking to let them go. What do you think is the most challenging thing about learning a new language? Fear. Oh, fear can imprison people. Fear is like the deadliest thing when it comes to learning a language. Fear of being judged, fear of making mistakes, and fear of sounding stupid. That is what makes students be very reluctant when it comes to learning a new language. Not knowing that making mistakes is part of the learning journey, the learning curve, growing, So fear can be very, very destructive when it comes to learning a new language. What is your perspective on error correction in a classroom? Alright, my perspective on error correction when it comes to a classroom, it's that I let students speak. I let them speak until they're done. Only if that error does not change the direction of the conversation or make it lose meaning, I would let them speak, then write that sentence that they got wrong down, and after that I can now ask them, okay, let's look at the sentence. What is wrong about this? Do you feel like we should correct anything here, or is it okay? If they say it's okay, then I can now tell them, okay, we made a mistake here. We should, instead of saying this, we should have said that. And then after that, I would use that word that I've corrected in multiple examples. Then after making that multiple examples, I would also let them come in and give multiple examples, stretch it as much as we can, make sentences, use synonyms for them, things like that. But if that error is something that changes the direction of the conversation, I would correct it now, right there and then. I wouldn't wait, I'll just correct it right there and then. What would you do if a student seems nervous or reluctant to talk? If a student is nervous or reluctant to talk at the beginning of a lesson, I'd use icebreakers, topics that are fun to talk about, topics that are general, you know, give out compliments, things like that. That would make a student feel welcome, feel seen, make them feel normal. Don't just treat them like students, someone who's there to learn, you know, but someone who you can hold a conversation with. For example, I'll talk about a weather, like for now in my country, it's very cold, it's snowy. I would ask them, does it snow in your country? Oh, here it is snowy and it's very cold. That is something that it's general, they can talk about, they can give out opinions on. So icebreakers are always good to bring out students from being reluctant and nervous to talk. They take them out of that shell. Is company culture important to you? Yes, it is very, very important. Company culture can create or destroy. So being in an environment or in a company that creates a suitable environment for learners and teachers to grow, it is very important for me. Being in a kind and inclusive environment, it's very, very, it's everything for me, because it relaxes your nerves as a teacher. It gives you that sense of belonging and you are able to perform at your best. Please read our Craving manifesto below and select 3 of our company values that resonate with you the most. Kindness, open communication, and empathy. Being in a kind environment is everything for me. It's everything to me. Being a kind teacher, being in an environment that lets you to be yourself, it's really, really good for me. And being able to communicate openly, like giving out your reviews, giving out your ideas, how we can improve as a company, things like that, they are very, very important. And it also creates that thing, that sense of belonging, even for students to be able to openly talk with you as a teacher, to express how they feel, where we can fix things, you know. That is actually very, very, very good for me. And being empathy, being able to put yourself in your students' needs. I'd make an example. When I was teaching some time back, there was a war in Ukraine. Sometimes when I'm teaching, I would see that my student is now panicking, there are noises outside. I'll tell them, okay, relax, let us end here for today, go and find a safe space to be in. You know, being able to show them that you care, empathizing with their situation and all. So another question is, why would you want to teach with us? Okay, I would love to teach with Craving English because of its cultural values, how it treats teachers and the students that are there. Like I said, cultural value is very important to me. Being able to be included, empathy, open communications, those are things that I really, really, really value, and actually producing the best of the best results. So I am actually looking forward to teaching with Craving English. Thank you.